Hi everybody, this is Joe. I'm here to do a video on narcissistic personality disorder. And in this video, I want to talk about something to get everyone familiar with this particular type of tactic as far as you dealing with the narcissist emotionally. And that is the emotional trap of the narcissist. So I'm going to go ahead and break this down in this video to help everyone to understand on how this works, and to also help everyone to understand on the narcissist's behalf as far as what you're going to be experiencing as far as you're dealing with the narcissist in the state of mind that you're going to be in emotionally. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. So in the beginning, when you're dealing with the narcissist, most of the time, you probably find this particular type of narcissist always seems to rush you into a relationship, or either this narcissist sometimes come off to you as far as wanting to know everything about you. They want to know your interests. They most of the time study you. They most of the time ask a lot of questions. And sometimes this narcissist at first, they probably sometimes come off emotionally as well. And they probably seem vulnerable at this time, or they probably very, very humble during this phase when you first meet them. And sometimes what happened with you is that you probably have a conscience, you probably sometimes feel feel some type of compassion for this narcissist, and you probably found yourself or finding yourself giving in to the narcissist. Sometimes, like, people who are empaths, so they have a tendency to help other people out, and sometimes they have a tendency to always try to fix problems. And most of the time, this particular type of narcissist always seem to be an emotional wreck with themselves. And they come to you. They come to you for emotional support. So these particular type of narcissists, they probably come off to you where they see you as some type of, I want to say, some type of potential in their life. And they will mention all the good things about you. Sometimes it boosts your ego, or sometimes it lifts you up. So at this time, as far as you already got things set for yourself. You already on a mission. You already on a purpose in your life at this time. You probably single, or you probably was in a situation where you was coming out of a relationship, and now you're headstrong right now. You know what you want. You're more confident about yourself, and you're more focused within. You're not finding any validation outside of yourself to approve yourself, or even to validate yourself. And this particular type of situation, you probably feel the energy as far as you feeling like you're kind of pressured. You feeling like you don't want to leave the narcissist in their state of mind of them feeling the way they are feeling, the way they are expressing themselves to you. They probably can't come off emotionally needy, or they need some type of emotional support. So They make you all these promises saying that they will be there for you or they won't let you down. You know, them particular type of things that you will hear from them. And sometimes what they do, they could make you feel insurance. They could make you feel insured that you could trust them as far as getting into a relationship with them. And at this time you already headstrong at this time, like I said before. And you kind of sit back, you're listening to the narcissist as far as what they're saying, and you're in a state of mind where you can actually observe them. You're not taking a lot of the words for face value right now. You actually listening to the narcissist. You're actually listening to what they're saying, and you kind of can feel and sense as far as what they're saying behind, what they're meaning behind what they're saying. So this pretty much mean that you're not falling for anything so quick or so sudden, so sudden from the narcissist. And over the period of time, the narcissist start cramming it into you as far as them being needy, emotionally needy, or as far as they need this emotional support. You probably noticing the narcissist, they start to make demands as far as them asking you to do certain things on time, or being at a certain place on time for them, or they kind of demanding your time. And most of the time they like to spend a lot of time with you, or take a lot of your time to spend with them, I should more say. And in the process of this happening, as far as you spending a lot of time with the narcissist, you start to isolate yourself from the things that you had interest in, as far as the things that you like doing. It could be going to the gym. It could be playing sports or activities, and you'll start to isolate yourself from family and friends. So you start to slowly but surely start to open up to the narcissist, because they're very consistent at this, as far as everything I mentioned in this video. In this phase, they very consistent. So you start to feel the energy as far as you're being pressured. You really don't feel they really give you an option. I'm gonna rephrase that. They really come off as you have an option, but you feel the energy as far as if you leave them in their state of mind, you feel a guilt trip. And anyone who dealt with a narcissist, they pretty much understand this situation. And what you start to notice about yourself is that you're starting to open up more and more to the narcissist, as far as, we'll say, for example, you telling them how your day was, and you start ranting to them about any type of problems you probably had with a family member at work, or a friend. And what happened at this point is that you start to get very comfortable with the narcissist. At this point, you're starting to come to the narcissist for support. You start to validate a lot of the things that the narcissist will reply back to you. And like I said before in the video, when I say you head strong, and you're very observant on their words, as far as you're listening to their words, and you don't take their words for face value. So now at this time, the narcissist sounds very convincing on everything that they are saying to you. So now you're going to start to question yourself as far as everything you used to be focused on and had answers for and can figure out for yourself. You start to notice that you're running to the narcissist as far as trying to give your sanity confirmation. And on the narcissist's behalf, they're making sure that you can feel very comfortable with them, so you can let your guard down. So this is the part where they could play their game. This is the part where they could take the mask off. And what starts to happen is that all the attention and everything the narcissist was giving you, you start to notice that they don't really give you a lot of that attention, and they not really on point like they were before. And this part right here will have you try to put a little more effort to receive what you was receiving before at first. And the narcissist probably had came off to you where you probably was a little afraid that they probably would be obsessed, or you probably had second thoughts on them being I want to say like stalking, or more like they will, more stalkish, and all these little red flags that you probably was sensing before. But now that you're emotionally involved, that now that you're the one who putting a lot of emotional energy into the narcissist, you start to notice that the narcissist start to pull away on their behalf. And what happened, you start to give in a little more and more and more, and the narcissists seem to slack up more and more and more. The closer you try to reach out to them, the further away they are. They're reaching away from you. So now at this point, you're the one you're beginning to start feeling like an emotional wreck. You probably have been noticing yourself that you're probably blaming yourself for a lot of things, or wondering what went wrong. Try to reevaluate the whole relationship from the beginning to this point, and you probably start to notice that you start to lose your focus and concentration as far as you're trying to be on point with yourself. And you also start to notice that your mind going to start to idle on the problem. You start to think more and more on what went wrong. And at this point, you probably start to reach out to the narcissist, and the more you try to emotionally reach out to the narcissist, you'll start to notice that the narcissist start to pull away even more and more. And sometimes you start to notice that they're being a little annoyed, and you sitting there trying to find the answers from the narcissist. You're trying to sit them down so you could talk, and they very vague with a lot of things, and they start to gaslight you as far as you're thinking too hard, or you're doing too much, or they probably try to tell you as far as everything's still fine. There's nothing wrong, but you're already sensing the energy that everything is falling apart. So now the narcissist, they start to focus on a lot of other things, taking in consideration of you. And what I mean by that is that you start to feel like you're on the back burner. Everyone else and everything else is more important than you. The things that they used to be, they used to get upset about, and whatever they used to complain about, you probably start to notice it don't bother them anymore. So so now at this point, you start to feel that the narcissist had lost all interest, and you start to feel like you're in your feelings or your emotions by yourself. And to speed things up, you probably, the worst part of this is that at the end of it all, or going towards the end of it all, as far as you're trying to hang on to the relationship, and you'll start to put a lot of emotional energy to keep your relationship with this narcissist, you start to notice that the narcissist may say things as far as them having regrets, or you probably start to hear them to say things such as, maybe we had rushed the relationship, maybe we got together a little too soon without knowing each other, or maybe they're going to start to say to you that maybe we need to slow things down, or maybe we need some space, or they may even start to say to you that maybe we need to start seeing other people now, or go our separate ways. So this more going to be in the feeling of them, really they laying you down easy, and it's just going to feel to you as one of them breakups without any closure, to it. And you're trying to find reasons, you're trying to find answers, but really there's no answers, there's no reasons. They just, it's just one day they feel this way, and the next day they feel another. And a lot of y'all are probably clueless on these type of situations. So what's going on the behalf of the narcissist is that, like I said before, they already have figured you out as far as how you can suit them, as far as their narcissistic supply. And what they have a tendency to do is to target you and to already lock you in. And most of the time they lock you in by having you commit to them in a relationship. And they want to hurry up and speed things up so you could be emotionally tied in. So they'll sell you a dream, or they'll tell you anything that they feel that you want to hear. And in most cases, they rush a lot of things, so you won't have time to think to figure them out, or you won't have time to sort your thoughts out as far as you want to think about it, and you probably want to give it more time to reevaluate the process as far as you're dealing with them. They too much don't want to give you that type of leeway. So that's why most of the time the narcissist rushes things. And also in the process of them dealing with you, they observe you. They was observing you very well. So most of the time you probably have been mirrored. So they're only reflecting you. And what that means is that all your interests, all your likes or whatever, they start to mirror that back to you. So it appeared to you that you found a person that have the same interests as you, the same goals, or feel the same way you feel as far as how you feel about them. And you probably thinking to yourself like, well, hey, maybe this not so bad. Maybe I'll give this a shot. And most of the time, when the narcissists do this, it's a facade to will you in. So they could get all the resources out of you as far as narcissistic supply. And as far as your emotions, to them, what emotions? It's all about them. What matters to them is what they can get out of you. If they feel any emotions, it's going to be their emotions. So most of the time you probably find yourself in a situation with the narcissist where they telling you how you feel instead of listening to you on how you feel. Especially when you feel something coming to an end, or you don't feel right about something. They like I said before, they'll do all the gaslighting, and you start to question yourself, and you don't really have any confirmation. You can't find no confirmation. You already done isolated yourself from a lot of your friends and family and a lot of outside support. And now in this situation, you're probably finding yourself sitting there out of touch with your purpose, with your focus, obsessing on the problem, on what went wrong with the narcissist. And maybe some of y'all are probably in the process of being discarded during this phase, where you keep reaching out to the narcissist, and all they're doing is discarding you, rejecting you, and telling you it's time to move on, putting you even more, or even in a worse state of mind than what you started off before in the process, as far as trying to come to any type of closure in this situation. So now you're lost and baffled and don't know what to do with yourself now. Most of your time you was around this narcissist. You spent a lot of time with this person. You talked about everything. You shared everything. Y'all went out places. Y'all did everything together, and now it's just out of nowhere. Just it's gone, disappeared. It shifted. It just switched off to the left, and now you're just sitting there, don't know what to do with yourself, and time just seemed to move very slow because you're looking at the phone, waiting for a text message or even phone calls. You're probably going on their social media page just to see what's going on with them, just to ease what you're feeling. And all this gonna do to you is that it's gonna have you obsessed on the narcissist. So day in and day out, all you're gonna be thinking about or have on your mind is this narcissist. So if there's anyone who is out there that may be in this situation, or they probably wondering on what to do. So one thing in this situation is not to do is don't reach out to them emotionally anymore. Now, I know it's not easy. I know that a lot of y'all, if anyone in this situation, probably feel like their strength is this person. And to let you know what's going on the narcissist's behalf is that the narcissists, they are very arrogant people. They boost off your emotions. So if you reach out to them at this point, it just only give them ammunition to think in the process of you can't live without them. So the narcissist actually sitting back, they have the attitude of of them feeling that you cannot move on without them or live without them. And the best thing to do in this situation is that to ride it out, stay strong. Do not give them any feedback emotionally, because all it's going to do is it's just going to make the situation even worse. And for those who already made it out this situation, and the best thing to do is to stay no contact. Do not react to them, none whatsoever, emotionally. Give them nothing emotionally. And in some cases, maybe even most cases, that the narcissist may run into a narcissistic injury, because this will kind of mess with the narcissist's ego, because in their mind they feel like they have that type of control over you, and they could come back anytime they want to. And most of the time the narcissist will come back. They will come back for that A plus narcissistic supply, which is you. And in most situations like this, for anyone who may be wondering what the narcissist is doing, is that they already had lined up a new source of narcissistic supply. So at this point, you're no good for them, and there's nothing you could do about this situation as far as trying to win the narcissist over. So don't beat yourself up about this, and don't take the blame all the time. None of this is your fault. There's nothing you could have done anything about this situation that you're in, or you're in the process of trying to get over or get out of. You have been lied to. You have been manipulated to get into your emotions for them. So in a situation like this, is to know this, especially for the ones who probably got out of a situation like this. Keep in touch with all your interests. Keep in touch with your focus, your purpose. Do not isolate any support outside of anyone you probably suspicious of being a narcissist. Do not emotionally rent to them. Do not give them any type of vital information about yourself. Don't have this person around your personal lifestyle. Don't have them at your place a lot. Try to avoid much time with these people, and don't allow these people to work on your conscience, as far as where you will feel guilty, or as far as you feeling like you have to walk on eggshells so they won't be disappointed. Because most of the time, when you do this to a narcissist before you even get to that phase, before they could complete their task as far as trying to emotionally will you in, most of the time they will do a lot of things, as far as they'll probably do the silent treatment, or they'll probably do shaming tactics. And this is done out of spite of you escaping their trap. So be looking out for that, and stay just as discreet and vague as you can when you're dealing with these particular type of people. And most off, run the opposite direction. So if you are suspicious of you dealing with someone that is a narcissist, and they try to do everything I mentioned in this video, if you feel any things, I strongly suggest you to stop what you're doing and find some type of way out that situation quickly as possible, and Like I said before, stay just as discreet about your situation. Do not let them know anything as far as what you're planning to do. And most off in a situation like this is to stay no contact. For those of you who probably going through something right now or getting over something right now as far as dealing with a narcissist in this particular type of situation, most off I want to leave with you is to forgive yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself on thinking on things that was beyond your control, and to have someone to manipulate you into having you thinking it's all your fault. So hopefully this video then helps someone out. And remember, people, to keep your minds protected and to keep your heart shielded. Thank you for watching this video and have a good day.